Oh, this is happening now. My heart was like, I start panicking. God, just looking down. You stupid motherfucker. I did not have a plan B. She has this glare. Bitch, you will find a way to propose to me. Fuck! Fuck! What do I do? Hey guys, what we are going to be doing today is we have no official plans. I'm just going to be chilling. I'm just going to be answering your questions. Anything you want to know.
So let's just jump into it.
Hi, congrats on your wedding. How has your journey in Japan been so far? Also, bone-in chicken for the win. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, my guy. Hell yeah. My journey in Japan has been absolutely incredible. At first, I thought I would live there for like a year, maybe 2 years. It's been like 2.5 years now, and I'm still loving it. In fact, I don't think like I've properly experienced Japan to the fullest because I've only really had like 3 months of Japan pre-pandemic. So like Japan during pandemic and Japan pre-pandemic is two totally different things. Like one thing that I haven't gotten to experience yet is showing people around, showing my friends around. I mean, we have people moving to Japan now. You can go to Japan as a tourist, but you have to stay in a specific tour group. You can't exit that tour group. You can't leave or anything like that. And I'm just like, this is just North Korea. You know, this is a fucking North Korea simulator. So hopefully they'll lax the borders a bit more going forward this year. Based on how frequently you mentioned that you enjoy anime/games that use music in cool ways, like with Vivi, will you make a leap into Symphogear? It's the Symphogear fan. It's the Symphogear fan. Here they come. Symphogear has been on my to-watch list forever. I'll probably watch it at one point when people stop asking me. There you go. There's the clip for the Symphogear fans to jerk themselves over. Gant, would you be interested in an anime that has a plot that's a mix of Domestic Girlfriend and Scum's Wish, and it has the MC from Rent-a-Girlfriend? It's called Love and Lies. You said that description, and that sounds like the perfect anime for me, honestly. Is that an anime? How have I not heard about that? Summer 2017. How did I miss this? Damn, I got to check that out. All right, Love and Lies. Thank you very much for the recommendation, my good sir. Have you watched Cromartie High School? Really funny show with a great English dub. I fucking love Cromartie High School. Cromartie High School is one of my favorite comedy anime of all time. I don't know how well it would have aged now, but I remember at the time when I first watched it, it's absolutely hilarious. It's one of my favorite dubs that goes in comparison to Golden Boy. If you haven't seen the Golden Boy dub, that is also one of my favorite comedy anime of all time as well. And both of them because they have amazing dubs. For me to really appreciate a comedy, I really do think it has to have a really good dub, because I've noticed a lot of my favorite comedy anime are ones where the dub really do it justice. Like Cromartie High School was years and years ahead of their time. They had like a skit to do with internet trolls, like barely before the internet even started. And I remember that was like one of my favorite skits of all time back in the day. But that's like a throwback. That is a throwback, man. Glad you enjoyed Frieren. It's the best non-isekai fantasy manga I've read since Mao Mao Yusha. If you're looking for another great fantasy, you should give it a shot. I remember Mao Mao Yusha. Like, I never finished it, but I remember it was kind of like Spice and Wolf, except with a girl with even bigger titties. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. I've heard that it was really good as well. Maybe I'll go to revisit that. And it was animated by Studio Arm as well, which is the ex-hentai studio. That's all I remember about Mao Mao Yusha. But yeah, that's a throwback. What will your reaction be if your future kids love Sword Art Online, LeMayo? Okay. If my kids love Sword Art Online, I'm gonna be fucking proud. I'm gonna be like, damn, you like Sword Art Online? You know what? I've done something right. I've done something right if they like Sword Art Online. I'm like raising the isekai trash up early. As the dad, I'm going to be like the dad who just introduces his kid to all of the trashy isekai. I'm sure our kid is going to grow up hating fucking isekai. Are you kidding me? How did you propose? Oh. Gonna need to fill up some water for this one. My proposal was like 3, almost 4 years ago now. It's been a long time since I proposed. I will try to recall as much as I can. So I've always had the place where I wanted to propose in mind. You know, people figure out where they want to propose. I've always known where I wanted to propose, and the place I wanted to propose to Sydney was basically the place of our first date. So on our first date, we hired out a few bikes on South Bank, London, and we basically rode across the Thames River. We rode the bikes across South Bank, and that was our very first date. And I remember we would repeat that date every year. So every year on our anniversary or one kind of time, we would have a repeat of that first date, because if you've never rode around South Bank, it's a very, very nice place when it's got good weather. But if you ride down there long enough, there's gonna be this nice little, I don't know what to call it. There's gonna be a nice place where it's a bit isolated from the rest of South Bank. So there's not a big crowd there, but there's this gorgeous view of the Thames. It's like the perfect picturesque spot. And I remember we discovered that space by complete accident, by just riding down long enough down South Bank that we discovered this point. And from like the first day and from like the repeats of the day, I'm just like, this is the point that I'm going to propose. I already know that this is the place that I will bend the knee and propose. Like I had that planned out in my mind for years before I ended up proposing. That was going to be the basic plan. And so I asked Sydney for a date on her birthday. I said, why not have a repeat date that we always do every year? And Sydney, knowing me, she figured it out immediately. I don't know how. As soon as she heard me propose a date on her birthday at South Bank, London, where we would rent out bikes again, she told me afterwards that she already knew. Man, like, if this was a game of like Wedding Among Us, I would have like been exposed immediately. I would have been like fucking voted off fucking immediately. I don't know how she did it, but as soon as I proposed the date, she already knew. I'm going to say this, that she's just a great partner and she knows her partner, because that's the high point, guys. That's the high point. I'm going to say this. Everything that could have gone wrong at a proposal probably went wrong on my proposal. Mistake number one. Normally I'm a calm guy. Normally I'm a very, very, very calm guy. I'm chill. I can look at things at a logical perspective and, you know, I'm chill about it. A week or two before the proposal, I suffered the worst anxiety that I've ever felt in my life. I've never had a panic attack or an anxiety attack or something, but I'm pretty sure several times I was so close to just like having an anxiety attack, just knowing that this was coming. One of my biggest fears was that the ring was not going to fit, that I'd gotten the wrong size of the ring, because I knew I had like a rough estimate that I asked her like ages and ages ago, but I'm just like, what if the ring doesn't fit? What if I get on my knees and I try to put the ring on and it just doesn't get on her fingers? And so like in like a moment of panic, my first thought was, what if I try to like figure it out when she's sleeping or something? And I'm just like, no. Sydney like wakes up like that. She's gonna figure it out immediately. I'm gonna wake her up. So I've got to try and find a way to measure her ring size, which I already had the ring, by the way. I just wanted to make sure from my anxiety that it was the right ring size in case I needed to change the ring size. So I went to Sydney about 2 to 3 weeks before the proposal date. I think she was like watching 90 Day Fiance or something like that. You know, she loves 90 Day Fiance. And I'm just like, yo, why don't we pretend that we're getting married? Lol, keck, lol, W. Why do we LARP our fucking marriage, lol? And so I get like a fake ring, which is the fucking... which is just the string. And I'm just like, let's role play our marriage. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually fucking did that. And so I made like a shitty fake ring using string, and then we play it out. And then looking back, I can't cringe anymore in my life, because if she didn't figure it out before, that was just like, oh, this is happening now. Gant, you just told your future fiance at the time that you're going to propose. Luckily, she already figured it out to save me from the embarrassment, but that's something that she tells everyone in regards to our wedding story. Okay, so that was fuck up number one, and that was fueled by my anxiety. That's all that happens. It comes to the day and it comes to the date. And so how the day goes is we start off in South Bank and then we cycle down the river, like I said, and we get to this spot. So I thought, great, we're just gonna do our normal day and then we're gonna stop at this point where we always take a picture. But instead this time, I'm gonna fake taking a picture and I'm going to film it, and that's the point where I'm going to propose. Great, I got this plan in. Brilliant. It's gonna go G. And so we start off on the day and it's all great. It's all normal. Everything's going well. By the way, my heart was like about to burst out of my fucking chest. It was like do, 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 do. If I didn't have a rib cage, I'm sure my heart would have just like fucking beat it out of my chest at this moment. But you know, everything was going good. There was this point, like I think it was like opposite Westminster Abbey. That's it. It was like opposite Westminster Abbey and Big Ben. And there's a nice little shot in front of Westminster Abbey and Big Ben. And I remember us stopping there to take like a nice little romantic date shot of us. And I remember thinking, this is actually a really nice point right now. There's not anyone here. We're in a private point and we got like the Thames River. We got Big Ben in the background. This might be a really, really good point to propose. We parked the bikes. We put my phone on top of the bikes to set up like selfie mode. And then I remember like pausing for a bit to be like, should this be the moment? This is a really good point. Should this be the moment? And Sydney's told me like post that she saw like the gears turning in my head because she knew I was going to propose sometime that day. Gant's about to propose. Maybe this is the point. And I think, nah, I'm going to stick with the plan. This is a nice little point right here. The plan's good. I'm not going to propose here. We're just going to take a normal picture. Unfortunately, that was mistake number 2 because that should have been the point. That was like God giving me a sign to be like, I'm throwing you a bone. Take the bone. This is the perfect time. Take the bone. And I was like, nah, we good, man. We good. So we take the picture. It's a nice, lovely picture of us like hugging and having a nice little smooch with Big Ben in the background. And then the date continues. And then my first inkling that something was going to go wrong was I see a bit of scaffolding on the Thames. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. That wasn't there before. You know, I hope this scaffolding doesn't continue. You know, we continue on, we take a few more pictures, we stop off for like a nice drink and everything like that. There's this nice bar that's on a boat, that's on the Thames, that we stop off every time and get a cider. After that boat, we get into the area where the place is meant to be because it's like an arch right on the edge of the River Thames. We start getting closer and the scaffolding just increases. We cycle a bit more. There's a bit more scaffolding. And by this point, I'm starting to sweat to think this is getting pretty uncomfortable now. There is a lot of scaffolding here, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure it's been a while since I've been to London. I'm sure they're just fixing up this part of the Thames. London always needs to be repaired some way, shape or form. You know, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. We get to the entrance of this area and it's closed off. There is not even a sign or anything like that. The entrance to this entire area is just closed off, gated off. At this point, I start panicking. I take like a huff of copium, just because I'm like, it's all good. It's all good. There must be another entrance. I'm like, Sydney, we're taking the picture. There must be another entrance because this is like an entire area of the Thames. This is an entire area that we're going to. I just think maybe this is just one gated entrance. Maybe there's another entrance where this part is being repaired and fixed and everything like that. There's probably another entrance. So we go around. We go around to the second entrance, gated, complete shut. I'm like, no. I refuse. I fucking refuse. We go to the third entrance and it is just like God just looking down and just being like, you stupid bitch. You stupid motherfucker. Why didn't you listen to me? And so at this point, I'm the kind of guy. I try to plan things out, as you probably know. If it's something important, I always have a plan B. And then there's me. One of the most important points in my life, and I didn't have a plan B. I did not have a plan B. So here's me and Sydney in front of the third entrance, and I'm just like, I mean, like, that's how I felt. That's how I felt inside. Sydney told me that she's never seen me more panicked in my life. Outside, I tried to play it cool. I was just like, oh, this is a shame. This is a shame, right, Sydney? Inside, I was like, fuck! What do I do? Oh my God. And like, you know, like how they say just before you die, your life flashes before your eye. I swear to God, in that moment, like my life was flashing before my eye in front of Sydney. My mind was trying to reach any survival moments it can think of to try and salvage this moment. I was like going through the depths of my brain to try and figure out how I could salvage this. And a part of me was just like, you should delay it. This isn't the moment. Too many things have gone wrong, Rao. This is not the moment. You can propose at a later date. And I remember, like, I look at Sydney. I'm about to go, so date's over? That's a shame, you know? Let's just go back and let's just chill. I take a breath in to, like, say that. And Sydney, of course, because she already knows, she has this glare at me. And, like, she didn't say a word, but I know she was saying, bitch, you are not saving it for another day. It's going to be today. Bitch, you will find a way to propose to me. She didn't say a word to me, But I felt that. I felt that. Even though at the time I didn't know that she knew, at that time, that's what I felt, right? That this overwhelming sense of today has to be a day. And she can confirm that that's what she was like trying to convey to me in telepathy. And I was just like, shall we like keep cycling? Shall we keep cycling and see if there's just a nice place to take a picture to send off this last date? Because this is normally the point where we stop our date. We've never cycled further than this point. So at this point, I'm grasping at straws. I'm like praying to God. I mean, I'm a fucking Buddhist, you know? We don't even have a God in Buddhism. But I was praying. I was praying to whatever God would listen to me at that point, you know? If I needed to be Christian for like a God to like look down at me and smile, I would have like converted there and then, you know? And so we cycle past and I'm just like praying, hoping that there was just gonna be somewhere nice to take a picture, to take a photo, somewhere aesthetic looking, that's not just fucking scaffolding, that's not just fucking, you know, the pure scummy London that a lot of London is, unfortunately. And like, thankfully, after cycling an extra 10-15 minutes, we found a spot. And I'm just like, this is it. This is the spot. This is the spot. And Sydney, obviously, at this point, she just wants to get it over with. Sydney is just like feeling a sigh of relief at this point. And so finally, thank God, I like breathed a sigh of relief. I set up the camera on the bike. I filmed a video and I proposed. And the picture of that is online. I did post like a screen cap of that video online the moment that I bent the knee and showed her the ring. And Sydney told me that even though she knew that this was coming from a mile away, the moment that it happened, she still was in such a big shock that she didn't know what to say and she didn't know what to do. I also messed up on what I thought I was going to say. Normally you like have a speech in your mind to be like, you know, this has been like the most amazing, you know, 5-6 years together. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. That like went out the fucking window. I remember it happening. I had that speech planned out. It just completely blanked in the moment. I just went on pure adrenaline and I proposed to her. Somehow, with that many things going wrong, it still went completely right. And that's why I will say to any fellow lads who is ever looking to propose, if you're with the right lady, no matter how many things go wrong, it'll still go right. And that's the moral of that story. I remember when we were cycling back from that spot to go back to a hotel, Sydney was in such big shock. I mean, we were both like shell shocked, right? We were just like both running on like pure bliss, pure adrenaline. Sydney was in such big shock that she fell off her bike, bruised her knee. She didn't feel a fucking thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to remember the build up and that moment for the rest of my life. Any proposal tips? Don't do what I did. Trust in yourself a bit more, and maybe scout out the area that you're gonna propose. You know, that's just me. Oh my god, that was a story and a half, man. That was a story and a half. All right, I completely missed any donos or any other questions that were asked in that time. Congrats on the wedding, Big, being an isekai man. Have you heard of Beginning After the End? It is my favorite isekai and is better than Mushoku Tensei in my opinion. I have actually heard of Beginning After the End. I've actually heard about it. I believe it is not a manga, it is a webtoon. It's on my to-read list and I was going to read it, but then I was afraid that I would like it so much that I was going to make a video about it, and I really don't want to make the 100th isekai video on my channel. That's why I didn't read it yet, unfortunately. Kind of curious how the Black Clover journey has been. Did you enjoy it? Oh! So I've actually just caught up to Black Clover literally a few days ago, and oh my god, the hype just keeps coming. The hype is like that. The hype is like that. I fucking love Black Clover. The more that Black Clover goes, the more I fall in love with it. I don't know how it has gone 200 or so chapters. This man does not know the word break. This man is like full on initial D music from beginning to end. I'm just waiting for the point for Black Clover to slow down, but it never does. I have no idea how it's gone like this fast and this breakneck speed for 200 chapters, and I don't feel bored and it doesn't feel forced either. That's the most important thing, because normally when a manga really goes at super fast pacing, you really feel like it's rushing itself. Considering now that it's going to its final arc, I feel like this arc is like going to be a very natural conclusion to Black Clover, because without spoiling, my god, it's gone on break now, but it ended on the cliffhangers of all cliffhangers in Black Clover, and it's going to have a final arc and it's going to end in a bang. And I'm just like, it's one of the most well-paced manga I've ever read in shonen, because this manga has gone full throttle and it just hasn't stopped from beginning to end. So I'm very much a Black Clover simp right now. As a Brit and veteran weeb, would you agree that Wallace and Gromit is the peak anime? Nah, man. Nah, not Wallace and Gromit. Chicken Run. We part of the chicken gang here, okay? It's all about Chicken Run. That is peak anime. How's your FF14 adventure going so far? It's going good. I'm too busy to play it right now. And that's, I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. I'm enjoying it a lot, maybe a bit too much. The reason I haven't streamed it is because I didn't want it to be a game that I felt like I could only play on stream, but I'm very, very much enjoying it. That's all I'll say. Have you tried Thunderbolt Fantasy, Gen Urobuchi's puppet show? I fucking love Thunderbolt Fantasy. Oh my god. If you haven't heard of Thunderbolt Fantasy, it is a puppet show that is written by Gen Urobuchi and with a soundtrack done by Hiroyuki Sawano. I don't know how it happened, but it exists and it's fucking brilliant. If you haven't watched Thunderbolt Fantasy, give it a try. If you made a game based on the Dark Timeline similar to 13 Sentinels, would you play it? If someone made a game of the trash taste Dark Timeline, it would be harder to follow than 13 Sentinels. But would I play it? Hell fucking yes, I'd play the hell out of it. That sounds like hell though. I feel sorry for the game developer who would have to go through that. Everyone keeps saying SawCon. I'm not going to SawCon, unfortunately. What is SawCon?
These nuts.
Oh my fucking god. I fucking...
Got him!
Fuck! Fuck! Oh my god! I can't believe it! Joey and Connor weren't even here. I was just wondering, what are your thoughts about Togashi opening a Twitter account? If you didn't know, Togashi, the creator of Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, opened a Twitter account. And I think like within a few days, he's got over 1 million followers. Going through his posts is just like one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. I mean, like, if there's a mangaka that deserves to get over 1 million followers and now 2 million followers in just a few days, it's Togashi. But like, one thing that I find hilarious is just seeing the replies to any time he posts anything. If you've ever want to seen a fucking deity come down from the heavens, he could like take a fart or something and everyone would be like fucking worshipping this fart. Like, I remember where he posted a picture of an out of focus tree as like a sketch, right? And everyone was like losing their fucking shit. My favorite image, there's a scene where like these elders are kneeling down to like the omnipotent king of the world of One Piece or something like that. And it's just like Oda, Kishimoto, and like every other big mangaka just kneeling down. And it's just the tree. I fucking lost it when I saw that, man. Oh my god. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Hey, Garnt, first of all, congrats. Second of all, would you agree that Dress Up Darling is as mid as Rent a Girlfriend? My guy. My guy. Come on. Come on, Mike. You're gonna say that Dress Up Darling is mid? Come on. Dress Up Darling is one of the few best girl animes that is not mid. It is not mid. Come on. On like the tiers of like, you know, we got like the Usagi-chans, we have like the Shikimori-sans, fucking Nagatoro, Komi-san. I think Dress Up Darling beats the crap out of all of them. I'd say like the tier list goes Dress Up Darling, then the next tier is Nagatoro, Komi-san, then everything else is pretty mid, in my opinion. That is mid to me. That is my tier list. And I think that's it. I think I've completely caught up to the questions now. Brilliant. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that Q&A session. I've been Giguk, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.